Hi everyone, Glenn Greshtek, the King of Home Comfort at you with my top 20 tips. This one is tip number 13, lucky number 13. Tip number 13. This one is going to be on about the four factors or four quadrants, I call them, of pricing, right? A lot of times people think, it's just a product. Billy Joe Bob has a product that's cheaper than you. Sammy Joe has a product cheaper than you. Oh, the Hackam and Heatums of the world have something cheaper than you. Well, one thing I always say about the word cheap is look under the dictionary and see what it really means. It means a poor quality, never a great deal. But beyond that, there's four parts. The first part, let's talk about that, is the actual cost of the product themselves. Now, Service Experts, being one of the largest purchasers of product all across the world, basically, can definitely get a product cheaper than anybody else out there. Now, we carry different product lines. We carry the Lennox, we carry the Amana Distinctions line, and believe me, there is no one that can get it less than what we do for it. Now, the second part of the quadrant is now the parts and materials that are involved in that. Now, unlike other companies, we refuse to use cheap parts and cheap materials, low grade, cheap metal, cutting corners, things that we shouldn't do, which we never do because we pull permits. We walk them a third set of eyes. So when you buy as many as we do, we actually have wholesalers coming to us and offering us great, tremendous advantages to deal with them. And we use that and take them up on that. And they always compete against themselves. And we always get the best deals for you, the consumer. Now, the other area which we refuse to compromise on too as well is the actual people doing the installations. In an earlier tip, I mentioned the importance of NATE certification. All of our installers are NATE certified, meaning they are the best of the best. If you want to know more about NATE, please go back to that tip. I forget what number it is, but it's the NATE tip. Now, all of our guys are fully up to date in their trainings, fully up to date in their technologies, know everything, are licensed, are bonded, are the best of the best, the creme de la creme, if you will, and we refuse to compromise on that. We do criminal background checks on absolutely everybody too as well, which is a very important factor in this industry, because I wouldn't want anybody going into your home that I wouldn't want into my own parents' homes as well, or my wife when I'm not here, okay? Now, the final factor, which I guess sometimes we could be beaten on in terms of actual cost, is the actual, what I call the cost of doing business, right? Do you have a building? We do. It's right on the corner of Blake and Seacourt Street here in St. Catharines, right? It's been there for a long time. We are a well-established brand, been there for over 70 years. We do have to pay for our advertising. We have to pay for our lease, or not our lease, but our maintenance of the property. We have to pay for actual background people, not just the installers, not just the service people, not just myself, not just the managers, but the background people, the ones that handle your concerns for warranties. We do register the warranties. This costs money too as well. All kinds of factors, the insurances, the actual vehicles themselves, the leases on the vehicles, the maintenance of the vehicles, gas. As you know, that's never going this way. It just seems to keep rising and rising and rising. And again, we go head and shoulders and above trying to keep those costs down, but we want the best of the best, and the best of the best is never the cheapest solution. So those are kind of the four factors, very quickly done. As I mentioned to you, and probably one of my earlier tips too as well, cheap, right, is definitely not necessarily the best. Now, there's a market for cheap, and if you're that, then hey, I'm more than happy for you, but it won't be done through myself or Service Experts, because I do believe honestly and straightforwardly there is nobody that will do it right for less. So if it's less, there's a reason why, and one of those four factors have been compromised. So it's up to you. If you want somebody touching your gas, touching your electricity, everything else is safety of, well, health and safety of your home, and you want to go cheap, and as I said, there's methods for that, but hopefully you don't. And if I assume you're not, because you're watching this video here today. All right, so that's tip number 13, the four factors of pricing. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this tip, and be prepared for tip number 14 and the rest all the way through the top 20. All right, thanks for listening once again. Have yourself a fantastic day. Bye for now.